it off of my TV, so it's just like normal pictures. So it's like not distracting, you know?
I mean, I don't think it's distracting, and plus I'm kind of leaning more towards like putting it all on Spotify now. Cause like when I
Oh,
put the
okay, okay.
last video on YouTube, it's like they took it down for like I told you, right, about the whole vaccine thing. And I just don't want that to
Oh,
happen
yeah.
again. Cause you know, like I want to keep it raw. You know, like how I said, I keep it
Yeah,
no edits, just genuine raw. But what is it
yeah,
in
makes
the show?
sense.
Like what are you watching?
Uh, right now, it's just some rapper. It's just I just play music on my TV. That's how I stream it and stuff. So,
Oh, do
yeah, I
you
don't
play
know
the
who it
videos
is.
then? Do you play like the so you're one of those people that goes on YouTube but it just puts on the music video? Like any music video?
Yeah, yeah, but I don't watch the music video. I'm like listening to music. Like I have music on in the background like 24/7. Like I have to have music.
So do you like think better or draw better when you're playing music, or do you think you need silence?
I need music for sure. Like silence makes me stay in like loops because like music just helps me
Mm.
flow better and like just push me, you know, like it's motivating. Like certain songs can get me up and like
Uh,
push me to do something, you know?
yeah.
Like
Well, like, what do you mean by get you in a loop? Like when you're like, let's say someone told you how to stay in like those boxes where there's nothing, it's just a white box, no music, no sounds or nothing. Like, would you do that for like let's say $50 or something?
fuck no. Fuck no.
Why
I'd rather be
no? Why
broke
not?
and fucking why not? Because music is my life. I listen to it every day, like every second. There's not a time where I don't. So it's like therapy to me, you know?
Mm. But like, in what way? Because I understand you. Do you think different songs put you in different moods?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. There's different there's different types of frequencies it can give off. And like sometimes it's like I'm like in a mood where I'm just trying to just chill and stuff, and I'll just put on some music that's gonna like have me relaxed and like focused. Like say if I'm painting or something, I'm gonna put on some like meditation music or some shit, like some mantras. Like yeah, that's what I usually do.
How do you meditate? Do you meditate saying a mantra, or do you just or is it different every day?
Um, I don't meditate every day. I try to,
Mm,
like, it's something I want to make a part of my routine, but I do it. I am experienced in it. So I'll just tell you from my experience because
mm.
it's different for everybody, you know, like how they
Yeah.
practice it. Because meditation, what it means, it's just a practice, and meditating will help you like lift your vibration and raise that energy, you know, because everyone has their own like aura. And
Mm.
when people come around, you can feel like the type of energy they bring with them, you know? And so like I just feel like meditating helps you focus. It really teaches you how to focus because all your life your teachers and your parents are like focus, focus. But have you ever really been taught to focus? Do you really know how to focus? Like but meditation, that's what it is. It's a practice. Like at first it's hard. A lot of people say it's hard, like but it's not that complex, you know. It's just breathing, focusing on your breathing, and you can add mantras and affirmations to that, like setting your intentions. Like you can put that out in the universe. So because whatever you put out in the universe, you're gonna get back, you know. And
What?
yeah, it's
Sorry
just
to cut you
it's
off, but like, what's your idea? Because I hear like this vibrations, and I hear to give the universe, give it back. Like, what's your idea of life? Like, if you had to describe to someone what you believe in this whole box of life, like why we're here, why people are the way that they are, how you can achieve, or like what's like what do you believe in? Like, what's your God? Like all of that.
Um, I'm more I believe there's God within everything and everyone. So like what I mean by that is like there's a higher self within something. So like there's a God within everything. There's a God within me, there's a God within you. And that's just like your higher self that like speaks to you, you know? Like the highest potential you could reach. Like, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just believe in energy, like the type of energy you like be the energy you want to attract. So if you want positive outcomes in life and like good opportunities and stuff like that, I believe like just being positive, you know, lifting up your vibration and like sharing it with people. Of course, if you have that extra energy to share with people, because you can make energy exchanges without even really trying, you know, like right here we're exchanging energy just by talking to each other, you know,
Yeah.
like it's yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Then,
But
what advice can you give to someone who has low energy? And what is
low
low
energy.
energy? Like, is low energy someone that's negative or someone that hasn't reached their potential?
So from what I believe, these are just my beliefs. I don't know, some like I don't want anyone to get mad if like no, that's not it. But this is just what I believe and what I
Mm.
go by. I believe low energy like means high anxiety, depression, like suicidal, like you're just low, like your vibration is low, your frequency is not like high, you know? And so advice I would give to someone with low energy is meditate and work on yourself. Like, stop exchanging energy with these other people. Stop trying to make people happy. Like, you have to work on yourself. You have to get your vibration back up. And I feel like meditating really helps that, because I've been in a situation like how I got into meditation is because I got really depressed and I got really
Mm.
suicidal like when I was like 14. And I just was like, this ain't it, you know. I was like, this is not me, this is not how I think, like, and I wanted to get myself out of it. So like my mom has always had like she's always told me about healing stones. So they've always been in my life. So like amethyst, rose quartz, like all that stuff, you know. So I got into meditating with my stones, and it helped me so much. Like it really lifted up my vibration and I finally felt myself again. It's weird, you know, but it's like the kind of energy you want to attract. Like if you don't want to, you have to recognize first that you're in that lower vibration. You're going to want to have to pull yourself out of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I get you. Do you think, because like from what you're saying, do you think that these healing stones are like a big boost to
A
like your
boost?
well-being?
Uh Personally, yes. I I have they're around me 24/7. Like I always wear them. I always have them in my bags, in my pockets, like all around my room. Like it definitely is a boost. And like just like if you don't believe in anything, then it's not gonna work, you know?
Mhm. Do you think it's like a, like you can do it with lots of things? So like let's say I bring a candle, and like you said, like if I don't believe it, it's not gonna work. Do you think
Yeah.
I would need that candle and like believe it's gonna do something for me? Or like do you think that would have the same effect as me not just like meditating by myself and having that affirmation of like I believe this is going to happen? Like do you think the crystals are a support system or a like a second engine type thing?
Second engine as in like it's a higher chance to like work, like attracting that. Wait, what do you mean? Like
Yeah, sorry. Just like let me rephrase it. Let's say, like, do you think crystals in general are like something that will help you no matter what? Or something that you only have to take with good intentions?
Good intentions for sure. It's like all about your intent with things. You have to set your intentions and you have to like manifesting, like
Mm,
I said earlier, that the type of energy you're gonna put out there, like it's gonna give you right back. Like the universe hears it. It doesn't hear what you want and what you don't want. It's gonna hear what you're putting out there and then it will decide, like
mhm.
depending on what your true intentions are with whatever you're dealing with.
So do you think there's people that will always have bad intentions? Like, do you think humans are just that interchangeable where there always will be bad?
Oh yeah, definitely. I without the chaos, there would be no good, Because if there
Mhm.
was no chaos, if there was not these murderers or these fucking terrorists, all this shit, then we wouldn't know like the good side of that. Like there'd be no chaos, so life would just be like at a fucking flat line. Life wouldn't be like, you're supposed to go through the highs, the lows, all that shit. You gotta gain wisdom and knowledge from all that shit that you go through. So yeah, I do believe there will always be those people with bad intentions because without it, we wouldn't really be able to feel. Like I feel like
But
that's what represents life. Because
yeah,
without like that's why I have this tattoo. Because
mm,
without the
like
negative,
yin and
there's no
yang.
positive.
Hmm.
Yeah, yin and yang. So without the negative, there's no positive. They balance each other. It's balance, like you can't have good all the time. But just like you can't have
Uh-huh.
bad all the time. It's gonna balance out sooner or later.
Yeah, because I'm reading this book actually that's talking about the Taoists and the chaos and order, and and what I found that was really interesting is that they said clearly like life is suffering. Like life will always have pain and suffering, like no matter what. And they were
Yeah,
like, it's how you react to it is that what matters,
yeah.
you know? And do you think like these, because there's people that want these governments where like they're perfect to where everyone gets what they deserve. And do you think that's possible?
For what? A perfect
Or like
government?
a
Or
utopia type thing, you know?
is it possible?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or not?
I I just I feel like that takes a lot of trust and there's no trust in this world anymore. I feel like there's a lot of separation. Of course there's like the people that are trying to make things better, but I don't know. I just feel like that takes a lot of trust and there's like no trust.
But what's the cause of that, you think? That we have no trust?
Because everyone is against each other with religion, race, like this fucking COVID shit. Like, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. You can
Okay.
say whatever you want to say.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. But yeah, I just feel like they're making all these labels and all these things to divide us. So we have a reason to be like, oh well, so and so's this, so we don't fuck with them. Vice versa. It goes
Mm.
both ways.
So what's your idea on that? Like, let's say someone betrays you or something, does something to you. What's your idea on your friends being friends with them?
It depends. That's a really good topic because like that's that topic is like something I've dealt with a lot, and like that's a
Mm,
reason why I don't have a lot of the friends I do now. But I think it just depends on what happened, like what the situation was. Like
mm,
if it was like a full-on disrespectful situation, then I would just not fuck with that person for my own well-being, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just depends. It depends. Because if the person was really, really dirty and scandalous and my closest friend was fucking with them, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would back up and be like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'll ride solo. You know, I don't give a fuck. But if it's just something like nothing too personal, then I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I understand you. Do you think like the things that happen to you? Do you think of this idea that bad things happen to good people? Like do you not believe because it's true, but
Yes,
do you
I
think of it
do.
like that?
Yeah, I do because I tend like I'm a giver. Like in friendships, relationships, I'm a giver. Like that's just the kind of person I am. Like I'm really about loyalty and all that shit. So like um I just feel like having a good heart makes you vulnerable and vulnerability attracts fucking like takers, you know, like givers attract takers. And then that's when those takers, you know, because like givers are
Mm,
too nice. They want to see the good in those people,
okay.
even though they're showing them this, and that. Like, no, they're still good. And it just keeps happening and keeps happening because like you just have a good heart, you know? But then there's a point where it's like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm done fucking with anybody. Like, I got to get this shit on my own. Like, why am I wasting my energy on these people? Like, because I realized once I stopped fucking with people and I really put the time and energy into myself, I've progressed. I've been going up, you know? And that was probably like the best thing I ever did because I really did revolve my life around friends and like I just wanted to make things better all the time. But
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Like I think you went from like this giver mode to like a mode of like, okay, I give to those that deserve it type of thing.
yes,
And I don't take, I I accept
yes,
type of thing. And it's like now, like even today, like I think people, I think we're all born givers. All right, we're all born with this basic knowledge, with this basic moral code as kids, where we always want to give, but then once someone takes, it's like a switch. Like people, once they get like something happens to them or someone betrays them, it's like instead of doing the middle, like you said, like give and accept, they now turn from givers to takers. Turn now, you know what? Since this person did me dirty, I'm gonna do the same thing to other people. And the thing is, some people don't even have that intention. Like hurt people don't even have the intention to hurt people. But because they're hurt, they're gonna bleed on other people.
yeah,
They're gonna turn other givers into takers. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
But then I have this question: like, if that's the case, then we should be treating takers like givers, correct? Like we should be nicer to them. But at the same time, it's kind of like hard because you can't seem to forget the wrongdoings they did. You know?
yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I don't think you should like be nicer, you know, because like they have their set intents from the beginning. Like they know exactly what they're doing. So I just think it's best just avoid that. If you run into a person like that, avoid that. Like 'cause it gets messy and it can be manipulating and you know, those like they're just attracting that energy. So if they want to be a taker, they can attract that fucking taker energy and because misery loves company, you know, they can be together, they can stay together.
Mhm. So the best thing is kind of just to like distance yourself, like there's no contact type thing.
Definitely. I think
Now, now maybe it's like this, this like version of me. It's because like it's like I'm a naturally nice person. Like I always want the best for people. You know, I look at
yeah.
someone and I always wonder like what went wrong. Like what makes like what is the reason you're acting that way? So it's like when people do me wrong, I cut them off. Boom, you're out of my life. But then in the back of my head, it's like, what could I have done to avoid that? you know? Like, do you think sometimes you have to treat some people with extra care, or do you think it's like you kind of have to let them be them in a sense?
I think you definitely have to let people make their own choices, like
Mhm.
let them be them, because the if they're showing you their true colors, their true intents, then that's a test for you. Like you either gonna put your energy into something that's taking it from you, or do you want to put your energy somewhere that's more beneficial, that's gonna help you move up instead of just taking
Mm,
it from you? Does that make sense?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was actually thinking that you're right. I was thinking, you know what, like there is this something in me where I want to help other people, but the thing is that this thing is that I learned that I really, really love is that it said treat yourself as if you're someone that you want to help.
Yeah.
So it's like we often forget about ourselves. You know, it's like we always want to love, love,
Yeah.
love. We always want to find this partner. But the thing is, like, we really are that. Like, we really have to treat ourselves the same way. You
Yeah,
know.
our soul. We have to feed our soul. It's not just the body, it's not just what's out here, it's inside. It's like that higher voice that speaks
Mhm.
to you every morning. It's that. It's that you gotta like follow. Well, that's what I follow every day. I follow what I feel like is right and like whatever makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing you post on your snap that you've been working out. Like you've been just
Yeah,
in the lab, putting in the work.
fuck yeah.
What benefits have you seen from like working out? Like, do you work out like every day of the week? Do you have like a schedule
I try to work out every day.
every day?
If
Okay.
not, then the least is like 3 days a week.
Mhm. What benefits like have you seen already from just working out, putting in the work?
Benefits mentally and physically.
Hmm.
Okay,
And spiritually,
physically.
let's say too.
All right. Well, physically, well, if you work out, you put in that work, you're gonna see your body coming in the way you want it. Like I have a goal and I'm really like working towards it because like I just want to feel good about myself outside. Cause like when I was little, I had really like insecure problems and stuff.
Mhm.
So like now that I'm where I'm at, where I want to be now, it's like boost my confidence so much, so much. And when you're taking care of yourself, like all around, because like it's not just working out, it's diet, like eating healthy, like feeding your soul, like inside and out. It feels great. I feel so open, like to the universe and like the signs that the universe will give me, I can tell because like I take care of my body, you know what I'm saying? And mentally, it's just had a really positive effect on me. Like, I just feel like when you work on yourself, nobody can fuck with you. When you're really at peace with yourself, or you're working, you're on the road, you're on that journey, nobody can fuck with you. Nobody can fucking tear you down for real. Like when you build that platform for yourself, untouchable basically. Like,
Mhm.
but like I have good intentions though, like pure good intentions. Like it's not like about I'm better, blah blah blah. Blah. Like I'm humble with it. Like I don't, yeah. I like to get cocky about it, but it makes me feel good and I express that.
See, my thinking as well is that I think sometimes you should like flaunt it. I think sometimes like you should be proud of your work and you should express it, you know? And I'm not saying like to put someone down, but to be or like be cocky, but like be confident, you know? But
Definitely.
it's like nowadays, if you're too confident, people like they're like scared of you in a way.
Yeah.
They kind of back away because they're like, oh, this person's trying to bring me down. When in
Yeah.
reality, you're really not. You're really just expressing
I feel
the
like
positives.
I totally see that. But I feel like it's a lot of like I feel like there's like me and my brother were talking about this. There's like a spiritual war within everyone, and everyone in the world right now was going through some shit, like on their own shit, like spiritually, you know. So I feel like it's a lot of self insecurity and a lot of envious, just like those lower vibrations, you know, like I because like I don't know, I fucking lost my train of thought. Hold on.
Yeah, you're talking about that people are so envious and like
Yeah, like people's
insecure.
own insecurities, they project it onto those people, and it's kind of just like your mind is programmed to protect yourself, so it will lie to like you won't notice, but it will lie to like protect yourself. Does that make sense? Like your brain naturally does that. So I feel like if a person is feeling like that towards someone, even though they have good intentions, that's their own insecurities, you know. And I feel like one should take that in and like work on that instead of having to look at other people's lives and be envious. Like go out and get it yourself so you can be confident and post it, you know. So if you want to post it, like, you know, whatever, if that makes you feel good, fuck it. But like whatever, you know, if you want to flaunt it, then go out and get it yourself. You don't have to like sit and watch people do that shit. Like just go and get yours.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed today when I was gonna send you the link for the invitation. I asked you, you know, if you had your like a Facebook, right? And you said you deactivated it or did you delete it?
Both.
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 Why is that?
Yes.
Like is that part of what you were just saying? Like is that part of like the whole envy?
Definitely, yeah, definitely a part of my spiritual journey, I guess you would call it. Like a part of my growth, because I had to get eliminating no. Yeah, I had to eliminate that shit because evolution involves eliminating. So I had to get rid of that in order to grow, because I feel like that platform, out of all social media platforms, Facebook is toxic as fuck. It's constantly like focused on other people's lives, like making people Facebook famous, like drama, petty bullshit, just shit that nobody asked about, and people are wasting all their time on this shit because like I was the victim of that shit. I would notice I'm fucking just scrolling when I could be getting shit done, you know? Like, but I'm just fucking scrolling, paying attention to other people's lives and shit. But like I like got out of a relationship and I was just like, I don't want this. Like this is gonna bring negativity to me. This is not gonna help me grow or anything, you know? Even though all the people on my Facebook loved me, I was just like, no, like I have Instagram, I have Snapchat, you know, I don't need Facebook. This shit's toxic. Like it doesn't help you grow.
You're right. It's like now when I even hop on the app, when I swipe, I kind of get disgusted. So now I'm to the
Yeah,
point where it's like I post and I go. So I post what I want to post, and then I just go
you
on with my day. You know.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I forgot that it was still up because I don't know if my Facebook is up because I swear to God I deleted it, and just this whole situation happened. So I was like, fuck no, I'm just gonna take it off, like gonzo. But I don't even know if it's up because I still get notifications about it. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? Like
Like
it's
on your
literally like a
mail,
trap.
or like what do you mean?
Huh?
Like
I
in
get
your mail?
messages, no, in like my phone number, it'll be like Jasmine so and so posted some shit. And it'll be like, why the fuck am I still getting this? Like I deactivated. But
I mean, I could check right now actually while you're doing that.
sorry, someone called me. I don't know if it like
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's because your Facebook was your normal name, right? Jasmin Marquez.
yeah, yeah.
Marquez. I mean, you're not on here, but that's kind of weird.
That's good. That's good. But I just feel like it's a part of the fucking what's that word called? It's a part of the algorithm. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, algorithm. Like it wants to keep you sucked in.
Yeah, it wants me to consume it, but I'm done because I already was so consumed at one point, and I'm like, I'm able to see right past it. Like, why the fuck am I living on Facebook? I'm gonna live in real life and in fucking face to face. Fuck Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, cause it was crazy. Cause fucking, I think it was yesterday. I shared this one post. 'Cause I guess Shrek is gonna put all their movies on Netflix, right? And I shared it, and then I went on with my day. And then I got a notification, someone commented on it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go respond. And then when I'm on it, it started glitching out. I'm guessing the app was down. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I hop on Snapchat afterwards, and then I just see people posting it like 1 minute ago, 1 minute ago, 2 minutes ago. Like, oh shit, is this shit down? And it's like, it literally just glitched one time out of like 365 days, and you guys are tripping over not being able to use the app. It was like, holy shit, like people
Like,
really,
they
really
were like,
agreed.
is anybody else's Facebook like this? Is anybody else's
Exactly.
Facebook like? Yeah, see, they're consumed. They're consumed by it. They surrendered to that shit. That's their life. They wake up, go on Facebook, write a status, share something. They have to get by. But it's like, once you're able to see past that, you realize how fucking stupid it is, and you realize it's not your fucking diary. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, like I think like the way I use it now, it's like I kind of just use it as a way to express and to promote
A
my
tool.
stuff. And that's how it was intended to be. Really, that's how it was intended to be used. And but then there's times where I catch myself scrolling, and it's like so like I don't know, like this isn't every human. Like when you drive and you see a crash, you tend to look, right? Like
Yeah,
you tend to,
look.
oh shoot, like what's happening? Like it's one of those things. It was like every post on this is horrible. They're just projecting their insecurities. They're starting beef,
Yeah,
but it's like I don't want to look away. It's like that
you're
crash.
consumed.
It's like that car crash. And it's the same as fucking TikTok too. And it's like holy shit. Like
That's the whole
I want
reason
to go
why.
out.
That's the whole reason why I don't have TikTok, because everyone around me is consumed by it. Everyone, TikTok, TikTok. Oh, TikTok this, TikTok that. I get it. Like, it's a big thing, Like,
Dude, I
fucking
did also want to
2020.
delete it now. Now that you're saying that. Like really. Because
I've never
it's
had it.
true. Like I say I want to delete it and then I never do. But truth is like I need to delete that and I just did.
Yeah, because I had Musically. You remember when it was Musically?
Yeah, but I never had it when it was Musically.
I had Musically, and I was doing them fucking things, those dances and shit. But then once it hit, like everyone was doing it and all this stuff, I was just like kind of backed off from it because I was able to see right through it. Like, it's just not something I want to get consumed by, because I just see all my peers around me that are constantly fucking talking about it, and it's annoying. Like, come on, there's more to life than fucking TikTok.
But you know what's crazy too? Like it's like I'm on social media because I want this sense that I'm connecting to my friends in a way. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now that I want to go outside and talk to them in real life, I text them, hey, or I'll just text like some random people like, hey, what you doing like this weekend? Like, let's go out, let's go do something. And it's like people don't want to go out. Like people are afraid of even
No,
talking on the phone. It's
dead
like
ass, bro. But
so now
like,
you're
I'm
in
I'm
this
the same way.
ecosystem. But yeah, what?
Like, I use social media as a tool for business. Like, I'm an artist. I'm trying to fucking get my name out there. That's the only reason why I really use it, is to fucking get my art recognized and stuff. So it's like, just try to use it as a tool, more like a fucking hobby.
Right.
Because, like, you're
Yeah.
right. People can't talk to each other anymore. Like, my little cousins and stuff, like, they're constantly on the phone, like texting, like at home, like go outside, go fucking do something outside, like what you're supposed to be doing.
Do you think it's gonna get worse? Like, do you think since, because like I kind of, so we grew up on social media, but I didn't really grow up on a phone because I didn't have a phone until like I think high school, right? But now there's kids that have had a phone since like elementary.
They literally were born into it. Yeah, I was talking about this to my brother, and like I was saying, like we were kind of like the last generation to really have like a real childhood outside. Like now kids are born into this shit. Like they start crying, their mom gives them their phone. They start crying and throwing a fit for the phone. Like they're literally consumed by it. Like they need that shit to get by.
And it's like it's not like back to the first topic we were talking about. It's like it's kind of destroying your vibrations, like how you put it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like we weren't intended to use phones.
Cause like
No.
when you're consuming, and by consuming I mean by taking all these things in that people post, you're sharing that energy and you're becoming it. Some people become the stuff that they're consuming, because people don't realize that like you don't have to be what's in your head, in your thoughts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that ties with like meditation too. Because one thing I
Yeah.
learned, because what happened this one? I was watching a philosophy teacher talk about meditation, and like he was being honest about it. He was like, you know what, meditation isn't just you sit in silence, you focus on your breathing. The thing is, all humans, whether you like it or not, have bad thoughts. Like, why do you
Yeah.
think humans do what they do? Like you see on the news, let's say someone stole drugs from somebody or someone killed somebody. That's all because of a thought in their head.
Yeah.
All humans have bad thoughts. Means like when you're meditating, you have to come in tune with the fact that these bad thoughts are not you.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's different types of meditations too. Like there's some, like let's say there's some, like you were saying, for like mantras, affirmations, and there's some for like, oh, you want to be more calm, be more content with your life. Or there's some where it's like, oh, you want to like move on from something you're dealing with. And there's some that are like the straight breathing techniques, because breathing really is like I think it's like a natural medicine in a way.
Yeah, I agree. Like I have a tattoo in Sanskrit, and it means breathe. And like you said, it's like medicine. Like it signifies like the first thing we do that we come into this life, and the last thing that we do, which is breathing.
See, when you said that, I was like, that's so fucking smart. Like I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like it's so factual, but it's like you don't think about that.
Yeah, like this is how, like every time we wake up, like we're breathing, that's what's pushing us. That's how we're like moving forward. That's how we get to the next day. It's like we gotta practice that, and like being mindful too. Like
Are you familiar with Wim Hof? Do you know who that is? Wim Hof, WIMHOF. I think it's one F, not two. He has a book, or like maybe you know him by his nickname. It's called the Iceman. Do you know?
The what?
The Iceman.
Iceman? No, I don't.
He's like, oh my, he's fucking amazing. So he has this book. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard like reviews about it. I've heard people like break it down. But basically, just to like give a resume, this man kind of took some teachings. I think it was Hinduism, but they were just talking about how like these breathing techniques, and he's known for climbing Mount Everest in just shorts. Like that's the only thing he was wearing. No shirt. No, I don't think he was wearing shoes either. But that's fucking crazy, right? Like that's
Yeah.
cold ass temperatures. And he said he he puts it all in his base fact that it's all into your breathing, and his book has like breathing techniques. And I tried it out for a day, for a night. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. It was 15, I think it's 15. Like you breathe in, you breathe out, but like it's forced breathing. So you breathe in super hard, breathe it out super hard. And then you do that 15 times for three sets. And by the end of it, it's like my fingers were tingling because it's like the oxygen's getting throughout your body, right?
Yeah.
And he also talks about taking cold showers, talking about how you need your body to be stressed so that it can be relaxed, type of thing. Like if you're dealing with anxiety, you have to deal with stressors so that now your body is used to the stressors to where it's like
Yeah.
expecting, like it knows like I'm ready for this. So now you're in a more relaxed state. But yeah, like I just want to tell you because because I mean I haven't read the book, but you can probably find it in any bookstore.
Yeah,
But
you
it's like
should like fucking text me
crazy.
the author or whatever author's name and the book. I'm down to read it. It sounds really interesting.
So where did you learn all this stuff about like breathing and Sanskrit and meditation?
Um, where did I learn? Just reading and like research and kind of like my own experiences.
Is there
Um,
is there anybody that you would listen to, or like any, let's say, instructor that you looked up to? Do you were like, you know what, like he's speaking some facts?
yes, I want to say yes. There's definitely been like there's this guy on YouTube. He goes by Spiritual Soul. His Spiritual Soul or his I don't fucking know, one of those two. And um he's just like one of those YouTubers that like preach and like just on some third eye shit, like some really woke shit. And I started watching him like 2 years ago, and it really like it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. And kind of experimenting with psychedelics has gave me most of my wisdom as well, like about my own spiritual journey, because it's different for everyone.
Yeah, I think like with psychedelics, like I think the mainstream media or like the FDA and like the big corporations, they kind of banned it and it kind of painted it in this bad light to where people were thinking all the time like, oh, if you take psychedelics, like you're gonna go dumb, you know, like it's just poisonous.
Yeah.
And there's been some recent studies that have point out like if you know about psychedelics, then like you've known about this like since forever. But these are like recent studies that are finally published, that they were seeing that microdosing with psychedelics in patients that have like anxiety and depression, like they've been shown to improve like drastically. They've been shown that it's like a healing tool.
It is. It is. I can speak for myself. I can speak from my own experiment because because I've experimented with like I still am experimenting with it, and like it has helped me so much because I have really high anxiety. I have like mental health issues, you know, that I tend to just go through on my own, and microdosing definitely has helped. It has helped. It's just helped me solve those problems that were always there. I just needed some like confirmation to be like, yo, this is it. This is what you need to do. Like, if you want things to get better, then you know, it just kind of shows you results. Like, yeah, just kind of like, I don't know, because I tend to tune in with in my mind and just kind of think like, what's wrong? Like, what do I need to fix? And it will really
Mm.
show me. It will really slap me with the fucking truth, and like I'll be crying. Like I won't lie. Like I'll be hella crying. But then that just means the next day I'm working. Like I already know what I need to fix. Like you know what I'm saying? It definitely helps um you progress mentally. Like it just takes those problems and puts them in front of your face. But and it's up to you, like how you take it. You either take it and fix it, and change, or like you just stay the same and yeah, just stay in the same spot and just keep going in that repetitive cycle.
What were the type of things that you noticed that you're when you took microdosing, you took the psychedelics, that you realized, oh, I need to change this? Like, was it about you? Was it about the decisions you were making?
Yeah, um, a lot of personal issues, like with my anxieties and with the breakup I've gone through with like relationships at home, just like all that stuff, it will really show me the truth. Like it just exposes it for what it really is, you know? And then that's
Mhm.
when you can see it from all angles and be like, okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna approach this? And like it's just a really good thought process because you can slowly take things one at a time and really get a deep understanding about it.
Mhm. So you had kind of had this layout now of like what you were going through, and do you see yourself as like a problem solver, like someone that
Problem
always will
solving.
just try to find the solution?
Uh, Definitely. I mean, if something's wrong, I'm like, I need to fix it, you know? Like if I'm unhappy, like I gotta fix that, you know? Like I don't like to stay in situations where I'm not satisfied or not happy. So yeah, I believe I am a problem solver.
See, because it's like I think nowadays people have this ideology of like, if something isn't working, I'm leaving. Like if
Yeah, so quick
something
to give up.
doesn't benefit me in any way, I'm gone, you know? And it's like people have lost that sense of those values. Because in my eyes, I know people might disagree with me on this, but in my eyes, I think in life you always have to have rules. You always have to have a certain way to live. Now, I'm not saying my way is your way. I'm just saying we all need some structure in our lives, because if we don't have structure, then we'll just live life like recklessly, and we'll make mistakes that we don't
You're,
mean to
you're
make.
talking about discipline,
Mhm.
right? Like disciplining yourself.
Like discipline really is the only freedom. And that people will
Yeah.
listen to that and be like, no, like freedom means I can do whatever I want. But when you do whatever you want, the consequences from what you do doesn't give you the freedom, truthfully. And I think, sadly, um, people have leaned away from religion, and they have their reasons. Religion is not perfect. Lots of religions aren't perfect, but they offer like a type of structure. So once people leaned away from that, now they have no structure. Now they have, you know what? I'm the only thing that matters. I'm the best person. Like it's kind of
Ego.
yeah,
It's
this
called ego.
ego thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um, but then, like, what is the antidote for that? What is the antidote for ego?
Humbleness. Being humble, I feel like, because when you're just tied up in that ego, like you you're constantly right, you're constantly the center of everything, you know? But if you humble down, you start being humble about everything, that ego disappears, you know, because you're forgetting about your input. You're being open to all this information that's coming to you. No matter what your opinion is, no matter what you stand by, you're being open. That doesn't mean you have to believe it. That just means you can be open to it and take it in and just understand it from different perspectives instead of being so full of yourself and your ego and like, no, this is this way, this is that way, you know?
It's a dangerous thing. It's like we learn it as a kid, but then we kind of don't take it in, type
Yeah.
thing. And some people don't even learn it anyways. You know, some people go out in their whole life and they don't
Being prideful,
understand
never
these
putting
teachings.
it to the side. Yeah.
And do you think it's gonna get worse? You think people? Because I think, like when you said, the antidote to ego is humbleness. I think some people only go through it when they get humbled, not by themselves, but by an outside extremity. So like someone, I don't know, someone bullies them or someone puts them down or they try so hard for something and they don't get it. Um, do you think they can do that for themselves? Like, do you think there's a way to get humble by yourself?
Definitely. Definitely. By forgetting about your ego, like this is gonna be hard for someone who has a really high ego for themselves. You have to be open. Like you have to be open-minded. You gotta get that missing knowledge that you're lacking in, you know? Like, cause like you can always improve. You can always grow. There's no fucking stop. There's no limit, you know? So why stay in the same spot? Like why not let yourself evolve? So I don't know, it just depends on the person if they really want to grow or not, if they want to get rid of that ego cuz they call that ego death when your ego is gone. Like it's gone.
Do you So I'm not sure if you've been through this. I'm this you have. When you are on your like journey, let's say of like finding yourself, but like the people like your parents don't really agree with that. How hard does that make you seem? Because me personally, it's like I'm somebody or I see myself as somebody that my parents may not like agree with, but like that's what I am. That's what I want to be. You know.
Yeah.
So what And like, I don't know if you've had if you've had the same experience. Have you had any of the same experiences as that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I have. So, I feel like only you really know what's best for you. Like you have to really detach yourself from what your parents think because they might think they know what's best for you, but they don't. They only know what's best for you in their mind. They're not you. They're your parents. They're looking out for you. They want you to play it safe, you know? But on all serious levels, they don't know what's best for you. Only you deep down. If you're happy with what you're doing, if you're happy with what you want to be in life, then I feel like that's just a sign like you're on the right path. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
no one else gets to choose what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you.
Do you think you can take that approach at like a certain age? Like, do you? Because me personally, I think there also is a time when you have to listen to what your parents say. Like as a kid, as a child, it's like I have to listen to my parents say because although they might not be right in my eyes,
Mhm.
they are the authority, and
Yeah.
um And I know people, when I say this, people are like, oh well, family doesn't mean anything, but it's like I take family to a different extent too. It's like my parents really do love me. I know that for sure. What they tell me is what they really want, is the best for me in their eyes, like you said. So it's like, you know what, as a child, I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna do what they want me to do because I'm a child. I truly know nothing, you know. But then but like, when do you think is the point in life where you're like, okay, now I have to just not do what they say? Like, is there an age or is there like a mental limitation?
I don't believe it's age. I believe it's maturity level. Like
Mhm.
once you start having those thoughts of like what like you really want to know yourself and like your purpose, I feel like that's when I don't know, because for me it was a really young age, but I know it's different for everybody, you know. Those thoughts don't come to everyone at a young age, like where they believe they were put here for a reason and they have a purpose here. Like not everyone's gonna discover that at the same time. Everyone has their own path in life that they follow, and they follow that by listening to that higher self within yourself, you know?
Mhm.
So I'm not sure. I don't think it has anything to do with age. I just feel like it's that voice inside. If you're listening to it, the sooner you listen to it, like that's what you know you'll have to follow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, yeah, it makes sense. Like it's when, because I think, so this is my belief. I think you kind of get a calling at a certain time in your life. Now, for different people, it's different times, but you kind of get this feeling of I need to get my shit together.
Yeah,
And for
a
some
personal
people, it's
calling.
different. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it could be an experience or just to wake up one day and you feel that way. And I think right there is when it's like, because I read this one book. Um, it's called The Way of the Superior Man, I believe. And one of the chapters was saying to live as if your father was dead. Now that's like a fucking crazy line, when you hear that, you're like, what the fuck? But then it's like
mhm,
it goes into depth and it's like you gotta live as if your father is not there to share his opinion on you. Like you gotta live your life.
exactly.
Like there's a time where what's a story? I think it's with birds, but I don't know which. No, I think it's with an eagle. I might get it wrong. There's there's a dad eagle with his kid on top of a barn, and they go every day. And eagles don't know how to fly when they're kids, so they always go on top of that barn. And kid eagle always asks like, "How can I fly like you?" And the dad never answers him. And then one day they go on top of that barn, and once they're gonna head home after the sunset, the dad eagle picks up the kid, heads off the barn, and just lets him go. And the kid eagle never, like at this point, never flew, never knew he could fly. But then, so he's obviously panicking. Then he lets out his wings and he starts flying just like the father. And it's like that thing where it's like you kind of have to just take your way now. Like your parents are a vital part in your life, and it's sad that some people don't have great parents. It's sad that some people have abusive parents and no parents. And but it's like their vital role to where, but all vital things change. Everything changes. Everything comes and goes. So there's gonna be a
Yeah,
part where it's gonna be by yourself, and you gotta take that leap.
they're
And back to the
almost
point,
like
yeah,
they're like guides, you know? They're supposed to
exactly.
help guide you, not really control you and tell you what you need to do in life. because at the end of the day, you're gonna do regardless what you want, you know? So I feel like yeah, they're like guides.
What do you think happens after we pass away?
I think I believe in karma. So
Mhm.
I believe whatever kind of life you lived, what kind of intentions you put out there during your lifetime, I feel like that's gonna determine whether you're coming back or you can like move on from reincarnating and coming to earth, and you can basically just energy, you know, because I believe we become energy after that,
Mm.
just frequencies and beyond this dimension. And I just feel like we are sent here to really understand the concepts of life, like love, hate, envy, like all those negative and positive emotions. Because life gives you that. You're able to feel. That's what life is. So once you understand all of those, I feel like you just unlocked that part. Like I don't know. I just feel like once you understand life, you just kind of are free from coming back. Like you're just energy.
Mm.
You're free energy. You know. I just yeah.
When you say free energy, do you mean like on Earth, or do you mean like in a
No,
different
not
realm?
on Earth. Not on Earth. I don't know what's beyond Earth, you know, until I die. But I just believe it's some other type of, it's just energy, pure energy. Like not anything like how they make it to be, like with heaven and hell, you know? Like I feel like that does exist, but it's like the mindset. I don't know. Like, because I feel like there's old souls and there's new souls. There's souls that have been here on this planet for forever. And then there's those newer souls that are newer, you know, they barely came down to earth and stuff. And I believe I'm an old soul. Like I've gone to psychic readings, and my psychic has told me like I'm a really old soul. I've been here for so long. And um I just feel like my soul is kind of just like ready to, what's the word? What's the word? When you fucking move up. What's that word?
Do you mean move up
Ascend?
into your ascend? Yeah, ascend.
Ascend. Some shit like that. Yeah. I just feel like my soul. Like not this shit, like my soul. Like deep down.
Do you So once you ascend into what you were saying about how everyone has like their own version of themselves, what is your belief in, like, what do you do then? Do you now create like a world? Do you not have the power to create worlds? Do you not have, or like, or can you come back to Earth, or like what?
I I believe so. Cause at that point, you're just energy. You're floating around. You can fill spaces. You can fucking do whatever the fuck you want. You're an orb. You're just energy. So
Okay, so am I a new soul or an old soul, you think?
huh?
Am I a new soul or an old soul, you think? Because I never heard about that. I never heard
Really?
about the new soul, old soul.
I feel like you might be a newer soul.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
Just cause like the way we're talking about it, like I don't know. what do you feel more connected to? Do you feel like you've been here for a long time? Like, because it's just whatever you feel like you're connected to. Like the reason why I know is because of all the stuff that I am attracted to and what I like. And like, you know, it really feeds my soul when I'm doing something and I'm like, yo, like this is why I'm here. Like I live for this shit, you know? Like that's how I know what kind of like soul I am.
I think I think deep down, what really gets me going is talking with people, interacting with people, helping people. But also I like achieving success. And I mean like, because I have this whiteboard in my room where I kind of just write down what I do. I pray, I meditate. And like I just like checking each of those boxes. And it's like I'm also a very curious soul. So I want to know the answer to everything, and I want to know the solution to everything.
Mhm.
So, but then there's also times where it's like I don't. But one thing that I can admit to is that I don't know how to. No, I bite my tongue a lot. Meaning, if someone I love comes up to me and I disagree with them, I would bite my tongue. You know what? Because it helps you feel better. But at the same time, it's like I've been learning to, you know what? I'm gonna say what I say. You know, if you
Yeah.
don't agree with it, if you don't like it, then it's cool. Head out.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of like agree with you. I'd say I'm more of like a newer soul to the
And
point where I
I
just
feel
want
like,
more experiences. I just want everything.
yeah, yeah. So like how you deal with stress too, I feel like. Because how I deal with stress, I'm like, oh, like it's just different. It hits different on my soul. You know what I'm saying? Because like I tend to like I have high stresses in my fucking life and you know, like high anxieties. So like whenever I have to deal with that, it just hits different on my soul. Like I have to do different things to like bring myself back because
Hmm.
my energy's just been taken.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with you. I think in like early childhood and even high school, anxiety and stress were like the main thing in my fucking life. But then it's like I got to this point where it's like the only thing that can fight against stress is like with my own capabilities.
Yeah.
There was this fuck. I I learned this from a book. And I forgot what exactly it said. It said, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
You're thinking of the book.
Yeah, it's talking about how because it's talking about what is stress. No, actually, I learned this in my psychology class about what is stress, and I read it from a textbook. And it was saying about how you will have less stress if you just ask yourself the question of, "Am I capable?"
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if I'm stressed because of school, too much homework, am I capable? Like there's times where just in this semester I was like, "Fuck, I got so much homework to do when I get home," but then it's like, "Oh well, I'll do it. Like I'll find a way anyways," and it's out of my head.
Yeah.
You know, and I think working out like helped me with that because it's like once you have that bar on you or like once you're hitting that squat and you think you can't go no more, you're like, nah, like I'm gonna get this one down, and you do it. And that's really what life is, like pushing yourself to a point where you didn't think you could put yourself to. You can put
Yeah.
that from physical to just anything else in the world. And I think that's why working out is so amazing, you know, because you
Yeah,
learn how to deal
definitely.
with the stress. So I think when it comes to stress and anxiety, I'm more capable now. Like I'm more like I welcome it. You know, like when it steps into the room, it's like fuck. Like I didn't want you here, but all right, cool. I gotta
Now
go on with my
you just
life.
kind of you gotta face it. You gotta face it. It's right
Yeah.
there. You gotta face it. You can't put it to the side or it's gonna always fucking be there. You just gotta fucking flow
Mm-hmm.
with it.
Like, okay, like let's put this in easier terms. Like let's say I'm playing Super Mario because I like to think of life as like a game sometimes. It's like each level, I'm going through each level.
Yeah.
And let's say you're the Mario, you're going through it, you're almost at the end of the level, but then you see um what are those toad people called? Those toad people that are just in the thing. And you have to jump on them and then you get the show. I forgot what they're called. But
Is it the mushroom?
no, not the mushroom. They're like toads. They're like the cousin of Yoshi. I don't know. But it's like you gotta look at it like that, or like the final boss. Like that's your demons, let's say. That's your pain, that's your stress. So now you gotta find a way around that, you know. Actually, no. Don't find a way around that. Fight it. You gotta fight the boss.
Yeah.
Because either you go around it by acting like it doesn't exist, by using drugs, using other ways to cloud it, it's still gonna be there.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Do do you still deal with like anxiety and depression today?
Yes. I actually was dealing with seasonal depression during winter,
Mhm.
and I was like, I wasn't doing good at all. And I tend to like just go through things on my own. Like it's hard for me to really reach out for help and like say, be verbal about it. Like I can't, like it's all just in me.
Mhm.
And I'm falling out of it now because of the good weather. Like it's crazy how like the weather has a lot, like the seasons has a lot to do with like that shit. Like it can literally make you sad as fuck and like not want to be here anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And so like when I get that sun, when I get that nature, when I get that fresh air and I'm just like sitting outside by myself, it's just like, yes, like, oh, I needed this shit. I don't know what it is, but it's like, that's what really keeps me going is like being able to go outside and like feel that sun and like be a part of nature.
Mhm. Yeah. Now I get you. Like I feel like I'm either in denial of my own seasonal depression, because it's like when it's wintertime, I just stay home. And it's boring and it's different if you have like somebody with you, like if you have a relationship, it really helps because then it's like you're not really thinking about yourself or with somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like a test, it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
it definitely is a test because like all that stuff you're going through is temporary. Like it's just where you're at right now. Like it's temporary. So you don't want to make any permanent decisions. So that's what I always keep in mind. Like don't make permanent decisions. This is just temporary. I'm not gonna feel bad like this for so long. Like I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing. Like that's the only way shit's gonna get better if you just flow through it. You just keep going.
what do you mean by permanent decisions?
So like self-harm, suicide. There's a lot of young kids that have lost their lives due to suicide, and it fucks you up in the head because sometimes you grow up with them and you just see you hear some shit on the news, and it's just like fuck, like that's fucked up. It's something, and especially once you hear about why, it's like that something temporary. Like you, they could have gone through it, but they're too scared to like get help or reach out for that help. They just thought they were in it by themselves, and that's why they make the decision, that permanent decision. They don't really have someone that's like
Mhm.
pulling themselves out of that, because like once you're in that state of mind, you're kind of just like like tunnel vision. You just see one outcome.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like the tipping point of when the pain outdoes the hope. So it's like as humans, I mean, as me, I think I always have hope. But then like so most of my life I never understood it. I never went through that much pain. And if I did, there was always a way out, you know. But
Yeah.
then once I was put into a position where I was thinking about it, it was like, damn, like I'm thinking about it because I think this is how it's gonna be forever. Because
Yeah.
like there was a time where it's like I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Like I don't want to deal with the suffering, you
Yeah.
know. But then the next day it's like, oh well, something good happened to me today,
Yeah.
you know. Then you kind of have to remember, well, 2 months ago I wasn't like this. 3 months ago I wasn't like this. Oh, a year ago I was, going through some shit, but I got out of it, you know. And it's like maybe this one seems harder, and it probably really is this problem. But then you kind of have to like go through it. Then you realize. So it's like that knowing that it's like it gets even more sad thinking about the people that lost their lives, because it's like who knows if the next day, if you didn't do that the next day, you would have like that would have been the day that you would have been starting to get better. Like that would have been
Yeah.
the way up again. Because as things go down, things go up. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Always is. Back to the point that life is suffering. Life will always be suffering. But
Yeah.
was there a time in your life where, or like, what was your tipping point? I'd say where you were like, no, there's hope.
So far, like just through the years that I've had here on earth. um let's see. It was when I got out of, because you remember when I was like in a relationship for a really long time. I just kind of just went gonzo, just like didn't talk to anyone. Once I got out of that, it was a like tipping point because it was a lot. I've never gone through anything like that. And it really changed me. It changed me so much. But like at that point where I wish I never would have sold myself to love. That's how what I refer it to. Like selling yourself to love at a young age. That's what I regretted so much for the longest time was falling in love. What whatever I experienced was the closest thing that I think is love. And it just left a really big impact. And just barely today, like to this day, I'm getting over it. Like now I can say I am, like I'm in the process of that. Before, maybe like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, it just nowhere where I'm at right now. So it's had such a big impact on me, like overall. But if I wouldn't have gone through that, I wouldn't be who I am today. Like, and I love myself, even though I fucking have gone through so much shit, disappointed myself with the actions I've chose to do. Like, I still love myself. Like, I wouldn't trade my life for any other life. Like, I'm just grateful to be here and like how much I've progressed because I've actually taken the time to invest in myself now. Because before I wasn't. I was just filling voids. I was fucking, going to parties, fucking doing drugs, drinking, like all that shit, just to not deal with it. I wasn't dealing with it. Like on some real shit, I wasn't. And then that's why it's taking me so long to really get myself in a good place mentally. Because it fucked with me mentally. And now I'm finally like getting myself back and building that like solid platform, you know, to like be able to fall back on myself because I totally lost myself. But now I can really rely on myself mentally, like, you know? So yeah, that was like a really big point for me, like turning point.
Yeah, I'd say relationships are, I'd say people don't give the credit about relationships. Like when I say that, I mean people don't realize how much it can make or break you.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it. I like to compare it to the loss of a loved one. So, like, let's say, um, I don't know if you've had any family member die or anyone you know. You probably have, right? Someone that's not here
Yeah.
anymore. I say it's the same as that because when you're in a relationship and it's not a good one, meaning you don't even know yourself, you don't love yourself, you're kind of just in there because you love this other person. And
Yes.
then you're around them 24/7, you know. So your brain is wired to this point of like, okay, I'm gonna see this person tomorrow. Like, you know, that's my dopamine rush. So once, you know, you guys break up, and as as how non-messy a breakup is, at the end of the day, there's no right way to go on. There's always gonna be like feelings from one person or another, right? So once once that's over with, now your brain's going through withdrawals because it's mourning, it's mourning the loss of this person you had. And whether it was a messy breakup to where now there's no contact, it's like, it's kind of the same as losing someone, like
Mm-hmm.
losing the life of someone. Because it's like, one, you will never see that person again that we know of, that we can say you're sure of. And the other one is you will never get that same version of love from that person or the same version of that person ever again. Now it's just memories. They're both just memories,
Yeah, I
you
agree.
know. And so that's why I think like when people come up to me, they're like, hey, like I can't get over my ex. It's like I understand why. I
Yeah.
completely understand. Because we don't tell people how to deal with it. We tell people, and and this happens mostly with guys too. Like every guy says this to me. Like recently when I went through this breakup, they're like, oh well, it's cool, bro. Like you'll find like another one. Just go around, just go get another girl. It's like you wouldn't tell someone that lost their loved one, like, oh, it's fine, bro. Like there's more people here. Like people are still alive. Or like you wouldn't tell someone like, hey, nah, like it's cool, bro. There's like, yeah, they're gone, but look at that girl over there. So it's like we don't deal relationship loss at the same uh, same importance.
Yeah. It's more like nowadays it's more like I'll get someone else and I'm good. You know, like what the fuck? What about like healing and like working on yourself? Like
Mhm.
how are you gonna do that in a short amount of time? You just jump from a relationship to relationship. Like you're not at that point, they're just filling voids. They're not working what's really going on inside, you know? Like obviously there's
Exactly.
there's problems. There's problems. Like and I do see that a lot where I'm like, what the fuck? They're in another relationship? Like how? They were just with this person, that they're with this person. I'm like, how do you have the mind space to take like to get to know people like that in such a short amount of time and then keep doing that and doing that? Like how do you have energy for that? Like how do
Mm.
you do that? I don't I don't know.
It's when you don't have the energy to put the love into yourself, you have the energy to put love into multiple people.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because I've been in that situation. I've been on both sides of the table. One side where, I'm with somebody, then I leave them, then I go find somebody else the next one. And then I'm on the other side of the table where I see my significant other do that. So it's like I understand both sides of the coin. Where one side the reason I did it was because, first of all, I could say I wasn't thinking straight, but that's obviously a lie. It's more of like I wanted something easy that would fill the void.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you finally are on the other side and you see this happening, you're like, damn, like it's gonna hit you. Like you're gonna lose that person, whoever you're with, because they're disposable. Because in your eyes, you think you care for them. This is a great relationship, but subconsciously they're just there to fill a void. So they're disposable. So once you see that, you're like, damn, like you're gonna miss me and it's gonna hit hard. But I'm not gonna be there when you do. You know, I think you I think you kind of so if you're on the side, so like let's say this relationship, one person broke up with the other person, they're with someone else the next day. The other person is, doing healing themselves. If you're on this side, what I'd say is that, what, you do what you want, truthfully. But the truth is, like, that's kind of disrespectful to the person you were just with. And at the same time, it's not any good for you. But then I'd say to this person as well, like, you have to realize, like, the reason you're doing this instead of what the other person is doing is because you're a better person. And it's sad to say it like that, but some people just don't deserve other people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's true.
So it's kind of like all fucked up. Like I personally see it that if you're in a relationship and you break up with somebody, I think the right thing to do. Well, if you guys broke up for something dumb, I don't think I should have broken up at all. I think there's some things in a relationship where you don't need to break up. It's an easy fix. You know,
Yeah.
but if you feel the need to break up, then it's like, okay, you kind of have to go your own directions. I don't believe in this. Okay, let's be friends, because I don't think two people who were such in love can just break up one day and just be friends. Because it's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? Like,
I know. I feel that shit 100. It's like you can't do that. There's no fucking way. Like, I don't know. Me personally, there's no way I could just be friends with someone that I was with for like over like a few years, like there's no way that, like,
yeah, like, just makes sense. It's like if the exes that are friends were because they never really loved each other in the relationship.
they were never supposed to be with each other from the beginning.
Exactly. Like that's just how it goes. Like so I have a best friend. We did it in like elementary, but that's because we did in elementary. Like it meant nothing. So that's why we're just such great friends, because that's what we were meant to be instead.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, like but I also don't get the whole thing of like, oh, like I fell out of love. Like I don't love you anymore. Like that's not a thing. It's like if you don't love someone anymore, it's because you don't put the effort to love them.
I think it is a thing. I think you can fall out of love, because you could
How?
be in love with someone, because you could, because I don't know. I just feel like it gets to a point where it's like, say it's just really, really toxic, like really toxic, and you love this person
Mm,
so much, and it's to the point where it's like, you gotta kind of like make a decision to like better yourself, and like see them for what it really is, because love will blind you, it will blind you. So once you realize this person isn't good for you anymore, and you're just seeing them for what they really are now, not through love, but for what they really are, you don't love them anymore. You still have love for them,
mm.
but you're not in love with them like you used to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, because I just feel like that, like, Yeah. If someone's mistreating you and you love them, you're in love with them, and you don't fuck with that, obviously you're gonna fall out of love with them. That's not love. That's not love.
Mhm. Do you think it would be like lust? It's like, so every relationship goes through like a period of lust, you know, but then after that, it's like if it's really love, it sticks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think like that whole like love blinds, it's more of like a this infatuation, this lust for that person blinds, like this
Yeah.
hopeless
Def-
romantic type thing?
definitely. Like I I totally forgot. What were we talking about?
Fuck, you're talking about
I lost it.
but how like it's actually lust, like lust is what blinds, kind of.
Man, I totally lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something,
It's cool.
but I forgot.
But yeah, I'd say, and not like for me too, I think it's a crazy thing because with me, I'd say I've only I've only probably been like in love or like in love or the act of loving like a couple times in my life, like in a relationship, right? And it's like it's like faith in a way. So like faith is like you have belief in something. You're putting in the
Yeah.
work to believe in something. I think love is the same thing. Hate is the same thing. Like you don't just hate something just because you hate something. You hate it because you want to hate it. You hate it because you tell yourself, "Oh, I want to hate that." Same thing with love. Um, but I think now we don't really see it as much, or the like the innocent love. You know, as like as a kid, you know, you love everybody. Like love is just amazing. You see all these
You're
TV
just
shows, like
pure,
yeah,
yeah, pure energy. Just raw
exactly.
energy.
And then we get into this. Then we somehow we kind of get into this thought that lust is love. Like oh, um, like if they treat you this certain way, or like this is how a certain relationship should be, and that's how it should be forever. And it's kind of like we lusted for that, you know.
Yeah.
We kind of forgot that innocent love thing.
I
You know
feel
what I
like
mean?
that has a lot to do with social media and how society has put a picture on what love is supposed to be like and what life is supposed to be like. They made this image in people's heads, like kids, the future. They put that image in our heads to think, oh, we need to find love this young. We need to be in a relationship. We need to be able to relate to these relationship goals, you know? Like they
Mhm.
put that in our fucking brain. And that's the whole reason why I even like got into that relationship is because, you know, like during that time we were like 12, 13, like that's when everyone's trying to like have a girlfriend, have a boyfriend, you know? Like just
Yeah.
to just because everyone's doing it, you know?
Mhm.
But it's like you shouldn't be worrying about that. Like I really wish I didn't worry about that at that age because you need to build shit for yourself first before you start going and sharing that with other people, you know? Cuz like how are you going to give shit out when you don't have it for yourself? That doesn't make sense. Just like how are you going to give out money if you don't have that extra money to give out, you know?
Exactly.
So like how are you gonna give out that love if you don't even have love for yourself? That doesn't fucking make sense. You can't go and love someone. And it's like when people think you need other people to make you happy, like no, you make yourself happy and you share your happiness with other people. You share that. You don't make people happy. You don't rely on people for happiness. You don't. You have to be dependent. You can't rely on other people, you know? Like you have to be your own source of happiness, be your own source of like being able to rely on someone, which should be yourself, before you really even think about being with someone.
Yeah, I learned that the best way we can be happy is when we give to other people. But then when you think about that, like if being happy is can be helped a lot by just giving, then why can't you give to yourself? You know, um, like
I don't think it. I feel like it's just more like being able to generate that happiness yourself and sharing it, not giving it to people like, like they think they have to be around you because they're happy around you. But it's like they're gonna have to be alone. They're not gonna always be with you because you're giving them happiness. Like they came into this world alone, they're gonna go out alone. So you have to learn how to fucking make yourself happy and kick it with yourself and really, because that's how you know yourself. That's how you get to know yourself. And you know yourself better than anyone else. Like you don't want anyone coming over and telling you how you act in this, and that. Only you fucking know.
mhm. Fucking right. I think it just comes, yeah, like you're right. It just comes down to this basic thing of like you really just have to be there for yourself. You just have to be your own person. Fuck. Are you okay?
Yeah, fucking people keep calling me.
Well, fuck, we hit the 2 hour mark. So
Right.
that, I mean, that was pretty easy, don't you think? You were nervous?
Yeah, that was it was really good. I really liked it. I really liked it. We were just talking, basically just speaking our minds. And I love that.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go handle your business, your phone calls, and I'm gonna go on with my day. Thank you for coming on.
All right.
Seriously.
No, thank you for letting me. Great opportunity. Thank you.
Mm.
When will you post
See
this?
today. Probably what time is it right now? Probably like 4:30. It'll be up. You gotta convert it and
All
you
right.
gotta download it and everything.
Send me the link when you do, so
Okay,
I can post it on my Snap.
of course. All right. Thank you. Have a
Sounds
nice
good.
day. All right.
You too. I'll see you later.